Hello everyone and welcome to Betty Club number 6. This is the 6th episode. We're nearing the end of Betty Club.
Oh yeah.
So, to recap, we are all making a version of our very popular Betty dress sewing pattern. We will link to the whole playlist below. If you haven't seen the previous episodes, you just must go and catch up. Because we're going to pick up from where we left.
We've been on a journey, all of us.
Yeah, such a journey.
Yeah.
So all the previous ones have been a lot about fitting.
Yeah.
I feel. And we're starting to get into actual wearable things and exciting times. The last time we saw Chloe and Rosie talk about your next sort of wearable toiles, et voila, they are wearing the wearable toiles. So we're going to start with Rosie because we cannot ignore how gorgeous that fabric is.
Just me being like super subtle over in the corner here.
I adore it.
I really like it.
I love it.
It's amazing.
It's quite a lot. For me, it's quite a lot. But actually, I really, really like it. This is my wearable toile of my Betty dress. If you've seen the journey, I started off thinking I'd make long sleeves and a scoop neck. Things changed. So now I'm making the original bodice with a gathered skirt, but then I put in a little split here.
Does the split go all the way to the...
The split goes to here. And then I've put some bows on here. So it's secured a little bit further down, but it's actually a little cheeky split.
I adore that.
Yeah, I really like that.
For a bit of detail. So fit-wise,
it looks amazing.
I'm really pleased.
Really
I'm
nice.
really pleased.
Did you change anything between the last toile and making that bodice?
Did not.
No, amazing.
I think
It's
on my
great.
toile, I thought it potentially was a little bit big on the back, but actually,
That's
No,
beautiful.
I think that sits lovely.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
Oh, and the zip, you've moved the zip to the
I've
side.
moved to the side.
Nice. Which
Don't
looks
really
great.
know why. I was just thought, well, I'll have a play, but actually, I really like it, and I love having that plain back.
I was going to say, with the gingham, you saved yourself a bit of pattern matching, which why not?
Exactly that. So I think I might keep that there.
Yeah, I like
I'm a
that.
fan of a side zip.
Yeah.
And it feels like it's got enough room for movement, but it's also not falling off me.
Yeah.
Amount of gathers, it's quite gathered, and I thought I might slim it down a little bit for my next version, but then I had a thought that actually this fabric has got quite a lot of volume, so I think that's giving it more poof.
So how much,
I think it's 1.5.
Okay.
Yeah, it's quite a lot.
Then I'll do that for my next one, which will be in this fabric.
And
like
that's
a
a
lawn?
lawn.
Yeah.
That will be different.
Yeah.
So it's going to be a lot lighter, so
Also,
I'll
I
keep
think
with the
in
gather.
that one you want it to have lots of gather, otherwise I think it might look a bit sad.
It needs to be.
It needs to be a thing.
I was going to say it looks amazing with the gathered skirt, and I think that's a very good tip in general for the Betty dress. So the original has a full circle skirt. That is quite fabric hungry. If you want to make a Betty but in a certain fabric and you don't have enough, consider a gathered skirt because that looks amazing.
It's really cute. It's still got those vintagey vibes.
Yes.
Yeah.
With the
And
gathered
not
skirt.
too in your face, I would say.
Yeah.
This isn't too in your face.
No, the vintageness. The vintageness. The colour is a whole other story and I'm here for it.
Other things I learnt whilst making this, I did do it very quickly. I think public service announcement.
Oh.
Not all ginghams are the same measurement that way as they are that way. So I cut out my panels, because the panels for the skirt are just rectangles.
Yeah.
I cut them out just by sort of counting the squares. And
Ah.
I will admit I did it very quickly. And I cut one on one panel, this smaller panel on the cross grain, sewed it all together, and when I came to hem it, this panel was much longer. Because the squares are rectangles and they're longer.
No.
So to make them match across the
Actually, really
down
like
here
squares.
and across the split,
How did you do it? Because it looks amazing.
Yeah.
there's a little chalk.
Genius.
Yeah,
Perfect.
just hand sewed it and like tweaked it up a little bit.
And it's hidden by the bow.
So I've sort of like reduced it by one square. But yeah,
Genius.
I think public service announcement.
Yeah.
This was a fairly cost-effective fabric.
Nice.
So maybe more expensive ginghams. And I think woven, properly woven. Well, this is woven,
It is
isn't
woven,
it?
yeah.
But just be aware.
It really looks like squares.
I know, yeah. Yeah, but when you start lining them up, and when I sewed this part of the seam, I was having to like ease it in to make it match.
Yes.
And was like, oh, that's a bit odd, but you know, think nothing of it.
carry on.
Maybe just a small, like a millimetre or something.
Yeah,
and then
over that.
That is frustrating.
But well done for the
Yes.
problem solution, because it looks really, really good.
Add a
I
beautiful
love it.
bow and cover up any
Yes.
mistakes.
So were you not planning on having the bows, or you were? Or
I
you
was
were? Okay.
already. They have just
They're now
become
functional.
functional.
Actually. Well, I remember you saying in the last one that you were going to add the bows and see if they
Yes,
felt right,
exactly.
but you could take them off. Now you can't.
No.
Forced into bows, and I'm happy about it. It looks amazing.
I feel like if I'm going in with bright pink highlighter gingham,
Well,
I'll go in with some bows.
Yeah.
Just
in
like
for a
all or
penny.
nothing.
Exactly.
I love the bows.
I love
I'm
the
very
bows. I
pleased.
love
I
the
feel like we need a
skirt.
pattern with bows in now.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah, more bows.
Another
More
bows.
bows.
We have a
It
lot.
starts here.
It's so gorgeous. Really love it.
Thanks, guys. Yeah, I'm really pleased. I'm really, really pleased. It's a little bit shorter in the length than I was planning
Okay.
due to my very quick cutting.
I like that length.
Yeah.
I
I
do
like that
quite
length.
like it.
Summary.
I think for my other one, I'm going to start longer.
Yeah.
Maybe
And
like
then cut.
Yeah.
mid-axis, so
Okay.
really quite long, and then I'll chop it back if I need to. But I want to. I feel like I quite want that big, long, swishy
Okay,
skirt.
yeah,
So I've
yeah.
got quite a lot of fabric. so
Fine,
Yeah.
might as well.
And you're
May as
planning
well.
the same. It's going to be the same.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Same.
With the bows.
With
bows?
I'm going to try with the bows.
Yes.
Yeah.
They might.
They might
Yeah.
get cut.
We'll see. But yeah, very pleased in general.
Extremely good.
Yeah.
And very summery.
Yeah.
Very
now.
summery.
Neon. I'm still seeing a lot of neon around. I
Yeah.
love it. Great. Okay, success. Now for another gorgeous wearable
Yeah,
toile.
this is my wearable toile.
Stunning.
Obsessed.
Completely
So,
obsessed.
the first thing I'll say is I don't know what size this skirt is because it's not a full circle because I didn't have enough fabric.
Yeah.
So this was the cotton that I've got is a remnant.
Yes.
That we've so I only had like maybe just over 2 meters.
Oh wow.
So-
wow.
Yeah. So
It's a nice amount
Okay,
of volume.
that's an amazing amount.
so
of
I
volume.
basically just used what I had at the end. So I don't know.
That's
So it's like a little bit.
So,
But it's basically just like an A-liney.
Yeah.
just a little bit over an
Yeah.
A-line skirt.
and
still
you,
kinda works.
so you cut out all the bodice pieces
Yeah.
to make sure you had those.
Yes.
And then you went, what
What's
skirt can
going
I
on?
have?
Yeah, basically.
That's a very clever way to go around.
Yeah,
around
so that's
it.
what I did.
Gorgeous. And your version is one of the add-on
Yes,
pack
it's the
versions.
the round neck.
Lovely.
From the
Scoop
add-on.
neck with
Scoop neck,
sleeves.
yeah, sorry.
And 3/4 length sleeves, which is all of the sleeves.
Yeah,
in the
and my
one.
zip still centre, so there's nothing I've really
Beautiful.
changed
I love that back. Gorgeous.
other than this skirt is just a little bit.
It's stunning.
And we
though.
should mention the rickrack.
Yes.
Oh yes.
Also, where did the Rick Rack come from? Because I like that story.
Okay. So why did you have rickrack?
I think someone gave me some rickrack. I don't know. I had a lot of rickrack.
Yeah. And Jemima said to me, would you like that? I was like, yeah. I didn't know what I was going to use it for, but I just really wanted it. And it just so happened that it's the perfect match
It's such a
Ideal.
good colour.
for this fabric. So I just sandwiched it in between the facing on the bodice,
Clever.
which was easy enough. And then I actually just hand sewed it
Wow.
inside to the seams.
Oh.
I'm
Sweet.
impressed.
Just hand sewed it, and then obviously I was a bit extra because I had because I had lots left over, and I've done it on all the
That's so,
skirts.
so
It's really
good.
So maybe at that point, really grateful that I didn't have a full circle
Yes.
skirt. 'Cause
Yeah.
that
Keep it there forever.
could've been- yeah, but I love a bit of hand sewing, like
Yeah.
in front of the TV, just hand sew. It just feels nice. So
It looks
Yeah.
so beautiful.
I'm
I
really
think
happy with my rickrack.
it's interesting because you see rickrack very often on like a plain fabric.
Yeah.
Because then it stands out a lot. But I think this is so classy.
Yeah.
You've got the patterned fabric and just a touch of like, oh yeah, rickrack there.
And I really just wanted that sort of like scallop edge
Peeking.
through.
So
Yeah.
beautiful.
Rather than like
So
it,
nice.
'cause you
Yeah.
can sew it to just like their hem, can't you? Like on top.
Yeah, that's the thing.
Yeah,
you
that.
usually see
Just
it
like
that.
visibly
Yeah,
stitched,
yeah.
top stitched, I guess.
Yeah.
That's so beautiful. I really
Yeah.
like. I think.
I
Yeah.
really
Yeah.
liked it.
I think that's one of the sort of details that's going to stand out from like ready to wear dresses.
Yeah.
Just that
100%.
little extra thing that they won't have unless
They
they're
ain't
sort of
hand
super bright.
sewing rickrack, that's for sure.
So yeah, I'm
Stunning.
really happy with it. And yeah, it's in a nice cotton. It's floral, but it's also dark, so I feel like I could wear it all year round.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
And I've actually worn it quite a few times already.
Yes.
I wasn't sure because when you start like making these things, you think, oh, I'll do a wearable toile, but I don't.
How wearable is the wearable?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
How will this go? But actually, yeah, I've put it on and I feel really nice.
It's stunning.
I feel really cute.
What did you say when you put it on just before filming? You were like, I might keep this on all day.
Yeah.
That's such a good sign.
Yeah, because I was wearing something else, and I'm like, I'm just going to leave this on.
Yes.
Because it's just it's actually really comfortable.
Beautiful.
Yeah, I'm still really happy with the fit because sometimes
Gorgeous.
I did 2 toiles, which is where the last video was up to, and you know sometimes like with a different fabric
Things change.
Things can change, but I'm really happy with the fit. It's got enough room.
Amazing to do that.
Yeah.
I love it. That's what we want.
So yeah,
It's stunning.
Lovely.
And you were originally planning like a velvet
one,
version.
yeah.
Are you
So-
sticking here? Are you continuing?
I am continuing, and I've already cut it out.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah, amazing.
She's
up to
happening.
Well, I just got excited. I think because I've been wearing this again, and then I was like, oh yeah. So yeah, gonna carry on with my
Amazing.
velvet. Stick with the sleeves. Yeah, same bodice. I'm gonna change the neckline shape.
Okay.
And do a squarer.
Because you have like
Right.
an inspo picture
Yeah.
that you've got.
So I'm gonna try and get. I don't know. I feel a bit braver to get it closer to
Yes.
the
Yeah.
picture. So
Yes,
we'll
yes,
see.
yes. Do it. I mean, this is such a success.
Yeah.
that it's
Yeah.
like,
Yeah.
you've done what you wanted to do. Now you can go a little bit.
What's funny is I didn't realise I
Yes.
wanted a floral Betty dress at the beginning.
No.
Oh my God.
It's like I was writing it, and I was like, no, I'm going to do this and this. It was like, no, this is actually what
Actually
I really
really
want.
nice.
This is what I'm going to be wearing. But
I love that. That's perfect.
yeah.
Gorgeous. Fabulous. Well, so now if we go back a couple of Betty Clubs,
Yeah,
it
to our
was
last
you and me.
appearance.
Yeah, our last appearance on the screens. You had pretty much finished this version,
Yeah.
however, we're not happy with the length.
Well, I just hadn't hemmed it
Yeah.
at all, basically, and I couldn't decide what length to hem it to, and it needed a lot of hemming because it had really, really dropped. So I was putting that off. Yeah, it was
Yeah.
literally that. So I've hemmed it now. Oh my gosh, can you see? Maybe we can.
I think
put
we'll
a
put some
photo.
pictures.
Yeah.
I love
It
this
looks
new
really
length.
lovely.
Thanks. The
It's
way I
so you.
decided in the end was I just hemmed it to the the shortest length that I could. How do I say this?
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like
where it hadn't dropped as much.
the highest drop.
Yeah. the
Oh,
highest
okay.
point.
Yeah,
highest
yeah, yeah,
point.
yeah. Okay, you
Sorry,
started
I'm not
from
saying that
there.
very well. And then I was like, right, I'll just start there, and then I can level it, and then I'll take it up. And then I did that, and I was like, no, that works.
That's the one.
So it's just to my, basically just to my knee, which
Yes,
is good.
so
I did
nice.
toy with doing it mini, but I just felt like this is kind of a formal dress.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
let's keep it a little bit longer.
Yeah.
This is still my wearable toile. I have a few little things to change on my final one, but like we're talking tiny things. And I've had a little predicament since we last filmed.
Yes, this made me sad.
Yeah, so maybe you remember in our very first video I had some fabric in mind. This feels like it's been a long time
I know.
coming. It's been earmarked for Betty for ages, and I like sat down to cut it out and I realised it's not quite wide enough. So it's like 130 wide, maybe even 135, but the skirt really, really needs 140.
Because you're doing the
Full
original
circle
Betty
skirt.
dress, which is
Yes.
the full circle skirt. Yeah. That's
Exactly.
so sad.
And I did think, oh, I could change the skirt, but I thought, oh, but I've toiled
Yeah.
You've
so
got it,
much
yeah.
for this. I have this in mind.
And that's what you want.
That's
yeah.
what I want. Oh, so I found a different fabric in my stash.
Well
Shitty.
done.
This is viscose twill. So I wanted to definitely keep it viscose because that's what I've been practicing
Yes.
for. We've talked about this a lot about having the volume in the skirt and it drapes more as a viscose.
That's beautiful.
So I've cut it out and it fits and it's,
Oh.
this is going to be the final one.
But isn't that interesting? Like sometimes in some patterns we'll say this you need 140 wide fabric and we're not making it up. Like clearly
You really
you actually
need
need like 135 is just
Yeah.
not gonna cut it.
It hadn't even occurred to me. I was like, oh yeah,
No.
it's, you know, you think of it as narrow or wide.
Yeah, like either
Yeah.
110 or 140,
Yeah.
but there's
Yeah.
those in betweenies
Yeah.
that will get you.
So double check your pattern.
So another
Double check
PSA.
Yeah,
Very
exactly.
informative.
And then all this now, so I'm just going to take, I have decided it's a little bit big on the back. We talked about
Okay.
this in the last video. I was umming and ahhing and I'm just going to take just a tiny bit more out.
from the centre back, basically.
No, from an angle.
Oh, your
Oh, the
little
slithers.
pinches that you did
Yes,
from
exactly.
that toile, I remember.
Just, I think, because I'm wearing it now, and I was just thinking earlier, like, yeah, it's just a little bit, I
Tiny.
can feel it a little bit gaping at the back. And then I just want to raise the waist, I think. It's just 2 centimetres too low.
Those are the kinds of things that you, like, to me, this looks perfect. It's
Yeah.
just how you feel wearing it. And I
Yeah.
do think it's worth it. If it's bothering you, it's worth going back and changing
Yeah.
it. Why not?
And it's why it's good to, like, make a toile and then wear it for
Yeah,
that day,
wearable
because I've done
toile.
that before. I've, like, made a toile, but, like,
Yeah.
tried on, perfect, done,
Yeah.
okay. And then I've made the real thing, and I thought, oh, actually, though, when I sit down,
This happens.
I haven't
and
tested
yeah,
it properly, like, you do need to do
So
that.
I agree with that. Yeah.
So that's where I'm at. Feeling close. Feeling
Yes.
good. Yeah.
Yeah.
You've cut it. You actually have cut out all the pieces.
I've, like, yeah, cut and sewed.
Sorry.
Halfway.
Incredible. That's really, really cool. And I am clearly not wearing a Betty dress of any variety. So I have just, in our last vlog, I was wearing my wearable toile, which I really like. It's my little mini version. I have now started work on my final one. So I thought I'd show you the fabric. I am not
this.
very far, but
Look at that colour.
the fabric's incredible. So I am making a dress inspired by a Carrie Bradshaw, Oscar de la Renta dress. Just, you know, just your casual, wear it on a Tuesday afternoon kind of dress. I'll get so much wear out of it. But this has now turned into a different thing for me. It's like my fantasy, recreate that dress.
Yeah.
Maybe I'll wear it to the pub and I don't care. But like,
Yes.
I will, it's just for the fun of it.
Yeah.
The fabric is a taffeta, but very polyester.
Yes, yeah, it's got a hint of that
Extremely
going on.
polyester. I bought it from Goldhook Road, and it was so funny. So on one side of the shop, this is what taffeta does, though, which I like, is like the
Got
weight
that
of it and
crunch.
crunch.
Yeah.
So on one side of the shop, there was this colour in silk taffeta, and I was like, oh my god, it's so good. It was so expensive. I was like, I actually cannot do that. Like, I spent less on the fabric to make my wedding outfit. Like, I can't, that's wrong, to just make a fantasy fun dress.
We have to have some boundaries.
You have to. So I looked to the other side of the room, and they had the same colours, basically, all in polyester, and that was affordable. So I am not a polyester
Plus, you
fan.
could go on, like, if you loved this when you've made it, you could go back
I
and,
could.
like,
I mean, I won't. But yeah.
do you know what I mean?
I do know what
It's
you
possible.
mean. It's possible, should I want to. But the important thing is that, because I don't love wearing polyester, but I am going to line it fully. And I have a lovely cotton lawn to line it with.
that's
I found this floral. I was so happy.
That's
like
so
on
cute.
separate days, separate shops. And it goes
Perfect.
really well.
Nice.
So it's, I think that's fine, because that's going to be the
That's-
part against my skin,
Yeah.
basically. The polyester is just on the outside, so it should be okay. But yes, so very happy with the fabric
What is
that
this
I got.
section that you've got?
So it's
Yeah.
very weird. So what I realised studying that picture of Carrie Bradshaw is that it's got a skirt that is high, the top portion of the skirt is high at the front, lower at the back. I had not noticed that before. And then it has a second section of the skirt which has some kind of gathers or pleats, which to be determined yet. It's going to take me a little bit of time. But so I've just cut the top part of the skirt. Let's see if this works.
Yeah.
Look how that
With your
holds.
pockets
It's almost
in.
like a peplum, and yes, of course I've put pockets in, because even if I just wear this dress for like 1 hour, I want pockets. So you can see the pockets are extending, but there will be a whole other section of the skirt. And whether that's gathers or pleats to give it even more shape, potentially,
That's
it will be
fun.
like
That's
all
really
around,
fun.
and then on the bum is longer.
Yeah.
Oh,
It
makes
really
It
sense.
makes
works.
sense, right?
More
It didn't
clever.
when you saw the shape of it. It's like, what has she brought? But this is what it's gonna be.
I'm really liking this.
I'm
Yeah,
excited.
it really works. It
Thank
holds
you.
its shape.
It does, doesn't it? It goes like,
Yeah.
which is exactly what I
Yeah.
needed to do. And the bodice is what Jemima's wearing, what Rosie's wearing. So the classic Betty dress, which has been altered to fit me, but no alterations in design, if that makes sense.
Yes. Yeah.
So that I know it works, so that's why I wanted to start with the skirt. I've cut out the bodice.
Yeah, this is such a funny place to start.
But it's a complicated place. I was like, I need to figure out how that's going to look. Is it going to work? Can I put pockets? Yes, I can.
Straight in with the pockets.
Straight in with the pockets. It's the priorities are clear here. And so what I've got, I do have quite a bit of the fabric left, luckily. I think what I'm going to do is just cut out really wide rectangles and figure out how to attach it to this, how much to gather it, what you
Yeah.
were talking about, or pleat it. and then just do it the same kind of length of rectangles all the way around, and then even it out, because obviously the same rectangle is going to get to one point at the front and a different point at the back because they're attached to a longer bit. So all of this there's a lot of working it out. It's going to be involved, and then I'm gonna definitely line all of it. So the bodice, I will just cut out the bodice as is. The skirt, I think I might just do like a quarter, maybe a half circle skirt, but just plain, and just make sure that it's hemmed way above wherever the shorter part of the hem. I don't know. Yeah, it's all very much experimental. We'll see where we go. But I'm very happy with the fabric. It sews well. Luckily, I was a little bit scared that it might be a bit weird, behaving weird.
Or something.
Yeah, sticky was my worry exactly, and it does fray like mad, which is why I've overlocked everything.
Because you've got perfectly matching
Exactly.
overlocking.
Can we talk about that? Thank you for noticing, Jemima. It means a lot. I ordered some pink, like fuchsia overlocking thread, and it could not be more perfect. It makes me happy.
Fuchsia is exactly the word.
Exactly right. Because I have pink overlocking thread, but it's like a baby pink that works for many things, but not for this.
Yeah.
It would have been a different look. And I know it's only me seeing it, but
It's
No,
still
that's
and you
important.
actually, right?
Yeah. The whole internet.
The whole internet is seeing it. But yeah, so we have made a start. Not very far into it, but I have a vague plan.
Yeah.
No, you're good.
Of stuff
There's a lot of work going into that.
Yeah, to
Yeah.
to then start.
The thinking is a lot,
And I should say for the skirt pieces, I started with the full circle skirt pieces. I just cut higher up, basically.
Yeah.
I love that because that's just the things you can do.
Yes.
Like if you want to do a tiny peplum that's bigger on your arm, you can just do it.
Yeah,
That's the joy of sewing. Just
Yeah.
do it. And like do whatever you want. Put some bows on
Why
things.
not?
Don't
Exactly.
you know? Hem it where you want.
Rick Rack.
Yeah.
True.
Yeah, the hem actually, I have to say, it changes the dress so much, and I really like
So
it.
I think it's right length.
I think it makes it so much more you.
Yeah.
Like specific to you. I love
Yeah.
it. And with the viscous as well, the way that it
Yeah, I am
Yeah.
happy with the viscous.
Because we've all
Yes,
used
true, you're
like
in cotton.
sturdier.
Yeah.
This is not cotton.
It is.
But God knows what that
It
is.
is.
You're in cotton.
This is cotton. It is
But
a much
they're like-
different look, isn't
Yeah.
it?
Yes.
It is a much different look.
Yeah, I kind of like that the full circle is kind of hidden.
Yes.
Like when you do that, you can see it, but then it's
You
not
can
so
see
obvious.
the movement, but not the
volume.
volume. Yeah, the movement, but not the volume. I love that. And you know, we all like different things.
Yeah.
So hopefully, there's enough people out there that like one of the things. But yes, go and check out the Betty Dress pattern, the Betty Dress add-on pack, the Make a Betty Dress
Class.
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 Watch
I
it.
was watching that. Well, I was just sewing the vinyl and I was like, oh, I just have a little bit of, just like it on, you know, just to check, and you don't have to refer to the
I found it very useful for attaching the well, in our case, the lining, but
Yeah.
it's usually a facing.
Facing,
yeah.
Attaching the facing to the outer of the bodice, it's so useful in the class. So good if you're a visual learner, which I definitely am, to see like what bit goes with which.
Yeah.
So the class is amazing, and you get the Betty Dress and Betty add-on pack with the class straight away, just like that. Amazing. So you can buy the class as a one-off, or you can access it with a premium Stitchful subscription, which is obviously the best way. But yes, go and explore your Betty possibilities.
And we'll be back with our final bit.
Yes.
Did we say that? Yes.
Yeah, we
Yes.
will.
Yes.
It might be a little while. We'll
Yes,
see
we've
how
got
long
some
it
sewing
takes
to
us.
do.
We've got some
Yeah.
sewing to do. Yeah, like some of us are more ahead
And
than
who
others.
knows what we're going to bring at the end? What
Well, it could
it's gonna be.
Mine's actually going to turn into a suit.
Yeah. Betty suit.
Betty suit. But I'm excited to
Yeah.
see. But yeah, bear with us for a little bit as we figure it all out. That's what it's all about. But we'll see you again here on the vlog very, very soon with something else. Bye.
Bye.